In this lesson, we're going to start introducing different components that are available within Bootstrap. And we've got one called Jumbotron. So that sounds really impressive, and it actually is kind of neat, and I actually use it quite often within my websites that I'm developing. So let's open up our editor and we'll take a look at what Jumbotron does. So essentially we see that to bring in any one of these pieces of functionality within our website, all we have to do is specify a class. So we can create our element, and then we specify class and we add in content within there. So let's open up editor, and maybe we'll place Jumbotron here within that first element here. So just give it a name of div, and this is where we attach the class, and the class that we're going to be attaching is going to be Jumbotron. And usually with the Jumbotrons, you're going to find those H1s there, so the heading tags, and then you'll probably find some content within there. So this would just be some typical content within the web page. So let's check this out and see how this is going to present within the website. So I also want to make these maybe a little bit bigger. And I'm going to set all of these MD classes to 12, and essentially what this is going to do, this is going to stack it on the medium size. So let's see what that looks like. So we've got all of that stacking, and I also want to do an overflow hidden here. So it's the same thing that we added in there, and I want to be more specific that this only gets applied to divs that are underneath the row. So now we've got it presented in a different way. So let's make this a little bit bigger. So there we have our Jumbotron, and yeah, this one is standing out a little bit too much, so I'm going to make it less visible, the different borders. So these borders are just for our design purposes. Typically you wouldn't see these borders being used within Bootstrap unless of course you wanted to. So I just noticed that this one was MD2, so I need to put that -12, and the format is always the same, where we specify columns, so COL, so the different style grouping that we want to attach, the size of the screen that we want to attach it, and then how much of that value that we want to attach it to. So let's refresh it, and now we see we've got our Jumbotron there, and it's nicely presented within our web page. And as we resize, we get different properties within that Jumbotron. So see, initially it's got kind of a gray background, it's got the rounded borders, and it's got some padding around there, some margin around there, padding, keeping the words in, and margin. So it does have some effect there. If I was to just gonna call it Jumbotron 2, so we can see what the difference is. So without the Jumbotron, we don't have any of that added padding. And this is what essentially Bootstrap does, is it gives us a whole bunch of really nice functions and features right out of the box with Bootstrap. So this is just an illustration of one of the more commonly used ones, and what I want to do within this lesson as well is take a look at just different Bootstrap themes. And of course there's hundreds of different free and premium themes available online, so simple search will present you with a ton of different themes. So we can see that some of them will use that Jumbotron. We've got within these previews, so we've got at Bootswatch, we've got some basic default color schemes. So you can select one of these color schemes, and you can get really familiar with what's available within Bootstrap. And we can see that the different color schemes present the content in different ways. So these are all the different ways, different classes that we've got in Bootstrap, and there's our Jumbotron. So in this instance, we've got a red button and so on. And we can see here that they allow us to get the source code there. So if I was to take this Jumbotron and copy that same source code in here, that would present us with that Jumbotron that same way. And we see that we've got buttons being introduced, and we are going to look at buttons later on. But typically with the Jumbotron, you would have buttons there, and you would be linking out to different buttons that are available, different button colors, and so on. And I'm actually going to get rid of this styling, and we're just going to function off of the regular defaults here. So essentially, this is a great container option in Bootstrap, and you can really get a good feel for what Bootstrap can do by going through these different templates and themes. We've got another one here at Bootswatch where they give you a whole bunch of options here of how it looks like. Bootstrap 0, another bunch of really nice themes for Bootstrap, and startbootstrap.com gives you a whole bunch more different themes that you can get started quickly with Bootstrap. So definitely check out these resources if you're looking to get started quickly with some really nice Bootstrap themes. So down here, actually, I want to note as well, so we've got variations. So we've got the 3-column, 2-column, 1-column portfolios, thumbnail galleries. We've got one-page websites, different themes, and so on. And we are going to be covering more about Bootstrap in the upcoming lessons. So check out the different themes available online. And in the next lesson, we're going to dive deeper into what Bootstrap can do.